Hi everybody, this is me. I am just popping in to do a little something. So we're gonna talk about feeling boredom, and how you can overcome it. A lot of people we complain of feeling bored, and one of the areas that boredom comes about because of problems, issues we face when we are bored. For instance, some of us, we might find ourselves in relationships, but yet we feel bored. We have this constant need to be around the person who we are involved with. But we know that it's not really healthy to always be, it's not healthy for the relationship to always be in the company of the person who you're even if it's a husband, it's a wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. It's not always healthy for the relationship to constantly be around the person. For those who are working, yes, that time, it takes time away. For those who are not, then this is even more difficult. And so you become bored because of the fact that you don't have anything to occupy yourself. So boredom is the feeling as if like you're alone, you don't know what to do, you're just basically out of you're just feeling like a fish out of water. So one of the this quote I found for boredom: the cure for boredom is curiosity. There is no cure for curiosity. And this quote is by Dorothy Parker. So why is it important to be curious? Not only because it cures boredom, because there's so much to learn by being curious. And if you have a constant hunger for learning, it doesn't have to be academic, it doesn't have to be professional learning, but if you have a constant hunger to find out new things to explore, then it leaves very little room for boredom, especially if you're someone who especially if you're in a relationship, or you're dying to get into a relationship. You're telling yourself that a relationship is supposed to make you feel 100% happy, but you have to find something out of the relationship, outside of the relationship, to make you happy. Because what happens when you're not around the partner? What will happen? So instead of relying on others for your complete happiness, and being bored when they're not around, I challenge you to start becoming curious. Because by becoming curious, you don't have the time to lie around. You especially if you always like, okay, you're bored and you just constantly out of your mind as to what to do. Start becoming curious. Find a sport that you love. If you're working and outside of working hours, you find yourself feeling bored, find a sport. If you're a sporty person, whether it's to go and watch the football or actually take part in the sport, if it's football, netball, whatever, read a book, read a book, explore in terms of writing, reading, writing, do videos, find things that make you happy, something that makes you happy without constantly having to have like somebody around you. Especially we tend to want the person who we love around us the most. But and then we wonder why they get fed up sometimes, if they after a while they say familiarity breeds contempt. And sometimes because you're constantly around the person and you don't have a life outside of being with that person, it can really kill the relationship. So don't spend all of your time, focusing on a relationship or wanting to be in a relationship, because a lot of us, we tell ourselves that if we're in a relationship, then we will feel happy. But if you're not in a relationship and you're not happy, you're not gonna find the happiness in the relationship, because the happiness has to start with you. So if you're in a position where you don't feel happy now, whether or not you're in a relationship, you have to start looking at, what am I doing to contribute to my happiness? Because it's your responsibility to make yourself happy. Yes, those persons who we associate with, especially our loved ones, what they do contribute towards our happiness, but we cannot expect them to be there 100% to relieve us of our boredom. So start looking for things to occupy yourself. Make yourself happy. Don't depend on anyone to make you happy. And not only that, when you have a life outside of your relationships, when you meet with that person, you can actually share your life with them, and it makes it all the more exciting. Instead of imagine if you're with someone and you're active and they're active. So when you meet, you have all of these experiences, because you might have friends outside of the relationship. You might have you're meeting new people. You have your own separate friends. It's not that you're hiding and seeking and you have secrets, but you have your own separate friends. You have your little separate hobbies that you do. Sometimes your other person, well, I don't really like to say other half, but the person who you're involved with, whether husband, wife, or intimate person, they have their own separate friends. You have yours. They have their own hobbies. You have yours. Sometimes you might go support them. Sometimes they come to support you, and other times you go on your own. But the whole idea is that you create, you have this contribution towards making each other happy, because you have a life outside of the relationship, rather than, okay, we're going to do everything that you do, you're doing it together. Imagine that if you're doing everything together and there's no space. So allow that space, allow the person to miss you instead of being around you all the time and getting fed up of you. Allow the person to miss you. Don't find things outside of the relationship to do. Don't focus all of your energy on the relationship. If the person is really meant to be with you and they really love you, they in a little time away from them shouldn't make them forget about you. If anything, that should make them miss you. So find something to do outside of your relationship. Don't focus all the energy on that. Find your passion. Find something. Hi Tanisha, how you doing? How are you? Find something outside of the relationship. Cure your boredom by becoming curious. Don't focus all the energy on the other partner and constantly. And if you're so busy doing your own little hobbies, you don't have no time to be wondering what your partner is doing and be checking up on them every 5 minutes and and getting them all upset with you, and then that creates another tension. So to keep your relationship going, separate some of your, have a little separation in terms of your life. Don't it's not, you don't have to be 100% like just 100% with your partner all of the time, and just take time to do separate things on your own and bring back that little excitement. Don't focus so much on the relationship. One of the things I realize, sometimes when you're single, you're busy doing things, and then you meet someone, and instead of keep yourself busy doing those things that made you happy in the first place, some of us, we tend to, from the time we get somebody, we stop doing all the things that we used to do. And then we wonder why the other person lost interest in us in the first place. It's because when they met you, you were interesting. You were doing things that made them, made them interested in you. So keep doing what you're doing, though. Getting into a relationship is not an excuse to stop doing what you are doing. Keep doing the things. I mean, there are some things you might have to compromise on, but as long as you and your partner is cool with whatever, and I don't think that your partner is supposed to be really trying to stop you from doing the things that, once it's nothing illegal or immoral, to stop you from doing the things that make you happy, because in the end it should contribute towards the happiness of the relationship. So that's my challenge for you today, folks. Keep that excitement flowing in your life. Relieve your boredom by becoming curious, because there's no cure for curiosity. Actually have a blog on it, 3 ways to overcome boredom or feeling bored. And one of the suggestions I made is to arise each day with a purpose. Even if it's just say, okay, I'm going to go for a hike, I'm going to the beach, I'm going to paint, I'm going to practice my singing, whatever it is that you planning to do. Arise each day with a purpose. So when you get up, you're not wandering around. Whatever little purpose you have. Next, what was the next one? Do something new each day. Sometimes this might be a challenge because you might have financial constraints, but everything that you do in terms of excitement, it doesn't have to involve money. You can go, if you're living near the beach, you can go to the beach. You could swim. You could, just sign up to a club if there are free clubs around. Go spend the day in a relaxing area. Sometimes I go by the Grenadines Wharf. There's not really a lot of areas you could really go, but go by the wharf, and I take my tablet and I do writing there. Sometimes I sit there, I meet people. That's another thing you can do. You can meet people, meet new people. Some people like chatting on social media. I, for one, I don't mind doing a face-to-face and sitting down and having a conversation. But when I'm finished typing on my computer, my fingers are actually very tired to be doing inbox chatting and stuff like that. I do these videos as a way of connecting, so if you comment under them and you want a discussion, I'm all up for that. But the personal chatting I reserve for people who might be in a crisis, because from time to time I have people who might message me and they just need somebody to talk to, and I'm there for that. Or if I really know you, I don't really, I will have a few conversations, preferably, when I see a post that I like, I comment. And another thing that you can try to do is to be insert humor into your day. Find something, go search for a funny video, a funny movie, a funny, something. Sometimes I put my little funny posts on social media, and just to create a little bit of mischief, because you want to make somebody smile, and it's all good, and these things contribute towards your happiness outside of, your relationship or whatever is going on. So that's my challenge for today, folks. Just become curious. Don't leave all your focus on a relationship. When you do that, you can become disappointed because your partner is not going to be there 100% of the time, and nobody wants somebody who is always going to be clinging to them for and trying to make them their 100% source of happiness. So find your own source, the source that when something happens in your life that you can turn to it. Because sometimes we get disappointed by people in our lives, and you want something that you can turn to, and not just turn to, but something that you were doing all along, so that when a little disruption happens, you don't feel so devastated, because all of your focus and your attention was not focused on the one person. So that's my challenge for today. Don't leave your happiness up to one person. Just take responsibility for that. It's all part of self-growth. I'm not seeing any comments, but if anybody leave any comments besides Tanisha, if you leave any, I will I will respond to it. So it's part of self-growth. It's my videos dealing with self-growth. So today's topic is, overcoming boredom, finding your source of happiness outside of others. Something that you do to make you happy without depending on others to make you happy. So that's my video for today, folks. I actually am in the middle of some other stuff here on the computer, so I just thought that I'll stop by and do this because I neglected you guys. So yes, I was just interrupted there. So I'm gonna go now, folks. So whatever you do, make sure that your source of happiness does not come from the relying 100% on anyone. Take control of your happiness by becoming curious about the world around you. Okay, bye. Have a great day. Bye.